Yes, people, what's going on, man? Welcome back to the channel, man. Make sure you lot are smashing up the likes as always. Make sure that you leave your comments in here, letting me know what you think of the game. You know what you think of how I think the game's gonna go, and what changes you'd make to the lineup that I'm gonna put out. Because I'll be real, people, it's very hard to predict what lineups Maresca's gonna put out at the minute. Yeah, Bournemouth's managers having the exact same problem as us because of how many options we've got on the bench, how many people could start the games. It's very hard to predict at the minute. You know what I'm saying? But we've still got the likes of Lavia injured at the moment. So there's a few things that need to be tweaked in that midfield again. You know, we've got Gusto confirmed out as well, which is going to be a problem on that side. Do you know what I'm saying? So listen, people, we're going to get into it. You know, talk about some of the quotes that Maresca said in his presser today. And again, I'm going to go into the game, speak about how Bournemouth have gotten so far, and how we can exploit their weaknesses. Because Bournemouth, I'll be real with you, I've watched some of their games back. They leave a lot of holes in behind. They leave a lot of space to exploit, especially that midfield. Yeah, the way they press man-to-man, I'm seeing Everton, Newcastle, and West Ham constantly playing it around them, beating that press. And before you know it, they're just running at their defense. Yeah, and with our attack, that's going to be very, very dangerous if Bournemouth want to do that against us. Yeah, I don't think they're going to sit back in a low block. In all honesty, I think they're going to try to come out and play because they're playing at home. So we need to make sure that we pop it around them. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get into it, people, yeah? Because, listen, I'm sick and tired of these international breaks, man. Yeah, we just finished the Euros and already we're going off on a little break to go watch more international football. I'm tired, bruv. Yeah? Now we're back to club football and we need to make sure that we win this game because last season we had a massive problem when it came to international break. Yeah, I kept speaking about our team. Our team are young delinquents. I remember in school when you used to come back from half term, you know, you're a bit sluggish the first week. You're like, yeah, first week back, I'm gonna take it easy a little bit. That's what it seemed like even with these guys last season. Every international break we came back, you know, we played Arsenal, for example. We came back, we faced Brentford straight after. We fucking dropped points against Brentford. Yeah. I remember we played Newcastle after the international break. We get smoked 4-1, right? So last season, international breaks, I had serious doubts about what team and what mentality would come out. Yeah, because the manager's mentality was all over the place and it was filtering down to the players. They just took it too easy as if it's a joke. Yeah, but it's not a joke because we've got a draw at the minute, we've got a win at the minute, and we've got a loss at the minute. Yeah, we need to start picking up more W's because the next set of games that we've got Bournemouth, we've got West Ham, we've got Brighton. These are all winnable games, yeah? West Ham aren't a bad team. They've got good players. But I'm sorry, we need to go over there and make sure that we beat them. Because last year, we lost to them away. Brighton, same sort of thing. We beat them 3 times last season. We need to make sure that we're collecting another 3 points over there, yeah? And it's very, very important, people, because last year, we had a terrible start. Terrible start to the season, and we had a good end to the season. But unfortunately, the poor start is what led to us not making top 4 in the end, yeah? So all these W's matter, even at the beginning. Yeah, I don't check the table this early, but we still need to make sure that we're picking up W's, you know, to give ourselves a good start. You know what I'm saying? But listen, for this game, obviously, Maresca's come out. He's spoken about Lavia. He apparently he's close to being fit into the team. Reece James is still a few weeks, months away. And people, listen, with Reece, I said I've got one more in me. This is the one more in me, right? If he can't maintain his fitness, he comes back and he gets injured again. If he's moved on in the summer, I won't mind at all. Yeah? And if he keeps getting injured, we need to make sure that we go and bring in someone else that can play in that position. Because when you guys see my lineup, you're going to see exactly what the problem is at the minute. Because Reece James is injury prone. And Gusto, let's be real, he picks up injuries too. He's not out for as long as Reece James when he gets injured. But he picks up these little knocks where he's out for 2-3 games. And we know how good Gusto is. I know we haven't really seen the best of Gusto this season, but he's very important in what we do. You know what I'm saying? He's a good player. For me, he was our second best player after Cole Palmer last season. Yeah? You know, and right now he's out again. So, Reece, listen, I love Reece. World class on his day. But if he's not on the pitch, he's redundant to me. The ability is redundant to me. Him playing for 2-3 games, playing well, is not enough. Yeah? I want to be seeing this guy playing over 20 games. We've got someone there in reserve that can come off the bench for you, start certain games for you, and he still can't maintain his fitness. It's really annoying people. You know what I'm saying? But even without those two guys, like I said, I'll go through it. Yeah, I still think there's players in this team that Maresca can play in that position in order to overcome the issue that we've got at right back right now, because it is a big issue, you know. And hopefully Gusto's going to be available for the next game. Do you know what I'm saying? Now let's get into the nitty gritty of things, people, because like I've said, you know, I've watched some of Bournemouth's games back, and I haven't really been impressed with what I've been watching from Bournemouth. And I'm looking at them as a team that, you know, with the quality that we've got, we should definitely be beating them. You know, I know they did well against Everton the other day, but majority of the time, I'm seeing Everton constantly building from the back, beating that press. Because like I said, with Bournemouth, they like to press man for man. And what that does, it leaves so many holes in that midfield. Yeah. In different phases, I'm seeing a constant problem in that midfield where they've got a massive hole. Yeah. They play Lewis Cook, Ryan Christie, and Kluivert in the last game. Yeah. And for me, Bournemouth haven't really got a destroyer, like a physical destroyer. Lewis Cook, I think, is very industrious. He'll get around. Ryan Christie is all right. But Kluivert, again, I don't really see him and look at him and be scared if he's playing in that midfield. You know, he's been playing on the wing for them usually. So I don't know what happened. Maybe they had an injury or whatever against Everton. But that midfield is a position that I'm looking at where we can definitely exploit it 110%, you know. And that's something that Everton were doing. Everton didn't really have to work hard for their goals, you know. Obviously, Bournemouth came back in the end, 3 crosses, yeah, to get their goals in like 10 minutes, which was mad. So obviously, they know what they're doing in terms of the combinations of the wing, because some of the passing that I was seeing in order to actually get the ball into the box was very good. So we need to make sure that we're switched on in the box, yeah, because for Fafana and Colwill, they've been, you know, picking up a lot of chemistry. They've been building together. They've been dealing with a lot of the crosses that have been coming in the air. So we're going to need that again. Yeah, because some of the crosses I was seeing Bournemouth just whipping in, they were dangerous. Yeah, and they ended up scoring 3 goals from 3 crosses, right? So we need to make sure that we're switched on. But ultimately, this is the lineup that I've gone with in terms of, obviously, in possession. I've actually gone with Caicedo, who I'm going to play at right back. And some people will be wondering why Caicedo there. And I've actually seen Caicedo, you know, play at right back for Brighton. I remember he played at right back against Arsenal at the Emirates, right? And they beat Arsenal that game, and he was very good. He actually ended up injuring Martinelli, like not deliberately, but he injured Martinelli. Martinelli ended up coming off, and he dealt with that side, bro. You know. And last game against Palace, when Gusto came off for about 10 minutes, he was actually taking up those positions on the right hand side. Yeah. And for me, for this game, where we don't have Lavia, you know, and we don't have Gusto, I want to be seeing Caicedo still acting as that extra body in the midfield. So if you're going to start him at right back on the ball, invert him the way you invert Gusto. So you've still got Caicedo inverting with Enzo Fernandez as a deep line playmaker. Let Enzo dictate the game and let Caicedo be that destroyer, right? And like I've said, Bournemouth's midfield isn't great. We should be able to control that game. I don't want to be seeing Enzo mad high up, because I saw Maresca's quotes what Enzo's best position, and just to sort of paraphrase, Maresca pretty much said Enzo can play those attacking positions as well as defend, similar to what Declan Rice does for Arsenal. And for me, I don't agree with that, right? Because we've seen time and time again on that transition, Enzo just not being able to get back on time, right? That's why for me in this game, I would actually use him as a deep line playmaker just to dictate the game, keep the ball moving, dictate the game, and I would play Palmer and Dewsbury Hall as the 2 8s. So off the ball, you've got Dewsbury Hall, who's got a lot of legs, can track back, and he can actually help Enzo, whilst Caicedo goes back and takes up his position at right back. That's what I would go with, you know. I really don't like this dynamic of Enzo playing high up, because I feel like it shows a lot more of his weaknesses, right? Enzo needs to be facing the pitch, like I've said 1,000,001 times, and just switching play constantly. Because this is another game where we need to be using Madueke and Neto, yeah? Madueke right now on hot form, scored, you know, before we he was a big part in the goal that we scored against Palace. He missed some big chances in that game, of course, you know, but the other day for England, he came on, he looked quite sharp. He got an assist for Harry Kane. These are the sort of, you know, clear-cut chances I want to be seeing him creating for Jackson. That's only going to give him more confidence, and it's only going to keep improving him. That's how you improve these young players. You have to keep playing them, right? So he can learn and gain that experience that he needs. So in this game, I'm starting Madueke right wing. You know, left wing, Neto wasn't amazing against Palace, but for me, I feel like we didn't really use that left-hand side enough. You know, that game was just a bit shabby. So this is another game where I need to be seeing us using both the left and the right. Yeah. And obviously Jackson, I'm playing Jackson up top for this game as always. I think, you know, Jackson started off the season well. So I need to see him carry on because he's now been given a new contract, locked in for 9 years, you know. So he needs to make sure that he's turning up consistently because I like Jackson. I like what he brings to the team. He helps us play better, but he just needs to improve his finishing. Yeah. Please, bro, lock your foot when you're trying to shoot. These are just basic things you learn from early, bro. How to lock your foot. Every time he's shooting, it's just flappy. You know what I'm saying? Lock your foot when you're passing the ball and lock your foot when you're shooting. You get taught that from early, bro. So I need to see him do that. Yeah. But listen, there's no way we should be walking away from Bournemouth. I don't care if we're playing away. And to be honest with you, playing away actually helps his team because Stamford Bridge is very toxic. Yeah. People booing because they're getting bored of the build-up play. What's this boring football? These times we had Mourinho, who was winning so many trophies playing boring football, right? So again, the only way he's going to shut these guys up is if we're picking up W's, because fans are very fickle. If we're not picking up results and they're not seeing the best football in terms of the build-up and that, they're just going to keep moaning. So we need to make sure that we're picking up W's. Yeah. For this game, I need to see us score a couple goals, bro. I need to see us score a couple goals. Because Bournemouth on the ball, I'll be real, they're not that bad. Like they create some good chances, they create some good patterns as well. But again, like I've said, they leave a lot of space in behind, which plays in our favor. Because when we come up against low blocks and we keep trying to score and we're not getting there, sometimes I just feel like we just start to freestyle, and before you know, we end up dropping points, right? So how Bournemouth play, like I've said, it suits us because I don't think they're going to sit back in a low block. They'll be, you know, off the ball. They might want to take up little like mid blocks, for example, but most of the time they do press and they want to press you high, you know, and that's something that Maresca is going to play in our favor, like I said, because our players, they like to play around the opposition when they press us. You know what I'm saying? So for this game, I've actually predicted that we're going to beat Bournemouth 3-1. I hope I'm right because I said 3-1 against Palace. And listen, we should have won that game at least by 3 goals, even 2 goals, because we created 5 big chances in that game, like I've said, to their 0, you know. So I need to see the same. I need to see Neto be more direct, whipping in some nice crosses, bro. Madueke, same sort of thing. When you get in positions to score, bro, make sure you're bagging this time. Yeah? If you're not guaranteed to score, just pop it off to Jackson. Do you know what I'm saying? Dewsbury Hall, I've actually put Dewsbury Hall in my lineup here. I need to make sure that you, yeah, are looking a lot better on the ball. Because against Servette, when you started that time, I know it was a shit pitch and that, you didn't look that great on the ball, right? But he can definitely bring numbers to this team, like I said, because he's quite creative and he can definitely score as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Fofana and Colwell, keep building that chemistry. Cucurella, again, he's been average for me this season, but he needs to, you know, sort of go into the season and start to see the Cucurella that we saw towards the end of last season. You know what I'm saying? And Sanchez, please, no stupidity at the back, bro. Yeah? If you see these guys are just pressing us too much, sometimes just go long. Don't force it every single time. You know what I mean? Sometimes just catch them off guard, because I was seeing West Ham doing that. I was seeing Everton doing that last week, where they're just catching them off guard, and before you know it, they're attacking the defense. Do you know what I'm saying? But listen, people, let me know what you think of my team. Like I've said, listen, it's a long shot. I don't think Maresca is going to pick this team, but this is the team that I would go with. I don't want to be seeing Disasi at right back. That's for one. If I see that again, yeah, I'm gonna side eye Maresca, because I like Maresca. I want him to do well. Same way I wanted Poch to do well as well. But I'm not gonna just sit here and not criticize him from seeing him playing Disasi at right back, bro. It didn't work last season, and it's not gonna work going forward. So utilize the squad, bro. Yeah, we've got a lot of guys that can come off the bench. Like I said, Sancho, if he starts the game, I'll be happy with that, to be fair, because I think he can definitely add more quality in the final third if he wants a different dynamic on that side. You've got the likes of Felix that can come off the bench, and Cuckoo that can come off the bench. Carney's back in the squad now as well, which is good. You know what I mean? So we must, people. We must. Yeah? But as always, people, make sure that you're smashing up the likes. Subscribe to the channel as always. And love. Until the next one, man.